another damaging summer storm sweeps Saskatchewan. A look at the aftermath. Helping the homeless, what frontline volunteers say they are in short supply of. And the Snowbirds Saskatoon bound to look at their weekend performance at their home base.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight with the weather. Another weekend of storms brought more funnel clouds that touched down in parts of the province. The community of Waldheim was one of the area's hardest hit. But as Nygard tells us, residents are taking it in stride.
When Desiree Muse returned home to Waldheim after Friday night's storm, the damage was like nothing she'd ever seen before.
Pretty shocking and sad. I think the biggest thing was just seeing, just the devastation here, but just knowing that our family was okay was the biggest thing for sure.
As a series of tornadoes touched down across Saskatchewan, the Waldheim area was hit hard.
I was watching that in real time, really worried about that community. There's always the chance that that supercell with that strong rotation is going to generate, violent tornado, an EF4 or maybe even an EF5, and just wipe out a community.
Fallen trees, damaged power lines, and debris scattered throughout the community created a lot of work as the cleanup process begins. But the town's mayor says the residents of Waldheim immediately rose to the occasion.
I've been really proud of the community. They've stepped up, and within an hour you could hear the chainsaws starting up, and you could all over town they were wherever the issues were.
For Muse, it's been sad to see the destruction of her family's home, including trees that her husband planted decades ago, but she's looking forward to rebuilding.
There was 2 rows of trees here, so probably about 20 trees here they had planted. So these trees were over 40 years old, and now we'll get another chance they will come out and replant them as a family again for us. So it's sad, but we can replant them. We'll be okay.
The Waldheim community is now in the process of cleaning up and contacting insurance providers. While the restoration efforts are likely to be a lengthy process, those who spoke with CTV say the community is staying strong. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Waldheim.
With more than a dozen tornadoes confirmed in south and central Saskatchewan this past weekend alone, the Northern Tornadoes Project says Saskatchewan could be on course for a record season. Sierra D'Souza Butts on how this year's tornado season compares to previous years.
Oh my God! Severe weather has been a common theme this past year in the prairies, especially this past weekend.
It's literally been a whirlwind.
Saskatchewan has witnessed 27 tornadoes so far this year, not including reports of 5 unconfirmed tornadoes from Friday and Saturday.
Not just a lot of tornadoes, but strong tornadoes as well. Ones that are able to destroy the top half of a house, for instance. And that's what we've seen with some of these tornadoes.
The cause for the drastic storms come from the recent rainfall and hot weather. Environment and Climate Change Canada saying all the ingredients were there at the right time for the perfect twister.
We had the heat, we had the moisture, we had the winds in the upper atmosphere allowing those storms to spin. And when storms can spin, that means they can get themselves organized, which means they're able to grow into storms that are possible or able to produce tornadoes.
Although the number may seem abnormal compared to previous years, Lang says this year's events of funnel clouds are typical for the season.
It's actually closer to what we usually get or what we should be getting versus what we've had over the past couple of years, which is dryness and forest fire smoke and that type of thing. This is actually closer to a regular severe weather season.
Adding, there has been more alert systems in place in the last decade to help keep track of storms and notify the public. People are encouraged to download the WeatherCan and Sask Alert apps to receive warnings, allowing you to prepare and plan accordingly in case of severe weather. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Jeff, we had the storms, the heat, and the humidity. It was quite the mix.
Quite the mix, and nasty in some regards, as we saw with that story right there, and certainly reports from many parts of the province. Things are calming down a little bit, and significantly so, because we're going to be seeing the temperatures drop, that big heat dome starting to shift a little bit to the east of the United States, and that will help our situation in terms of the extreme heat. But there is still some instability out there, and we'll talk a little bit more of what this little line of reflectivity on the radar means, and also whether or not we can expect any more in the way of thunderstorms in the coming days.
An advocate for the homeless who helps people living on the streets of Saskatoon says she doesn't see an end to the worsening problem, and she wants the province to work alongside her. Keenan Sorokan on the support and changes she is calling for.
Fran Forsberg has been spending a lot of time over the last week handing out bottled water to the homeless, with Saskatoon's weather staying hot and humid.
600 bottles of water went out yesterday in less than an hour.
Every Sunday for 1 hour, Feed the People, a small group of volunteers led by Forsberg, meet at 20th Street and Avenue P to hand out food and water for people who need it. She says in June, 2,000 meals were handed out, and despite invitations to the provincial cabinet, no one has taken up an offer she made to join her.
If I can do this, sure as hell at 71 years old, surely the government can step up and start helping the people in need.
At a separate event on Monday, Social Services Minister Terry Jensen says he is in regular contact with service providers working on the street and in facilities, and the province believes additional treatment spaces will have the greatest impact.
So that they can begin that process of leading a healthy life going forward.
He says the ministry internally monitors usage of provincial centres, its programs and outcomes. That data guides the province's decisions as it works with the federal government to make more housing options available.
They're not the same drugs we saw even 3 years ago. So what we're doing is we're gathering that information so that we can make the best decisions as government possible.
While the opposition feels the work shouldn't be falling on Forsberg and other volunteers.
Again, the responsibility comes from the government. They need to be able to provide those resources.
Forsberg says the invitation to join her still stands, to meet with her on Sunday and see the people of Saskatoon themselves. Keenan Sorokan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A 62-year-old man has died after two motorcycles collided near Battleford. The crash happened Saturday afternoon just after 5 o'clock. RCMP say one of the riders was declared dead at the scene. He has been identified as a man from North Battleford. The second rider was taken to hospital with what are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators are trying to determine what contributed to the collision. Two people are dead and one seriously injured following a rollover on Highway 24 near the Pelican Lake First Nation. A 31-year-old man and 39-year-old woman, both from the First Nation, died at the scene. A third person was sent to hospital with serious injuries. There is no word on what contributed to the crash. RCMP are looking for a man accused of abducting a woman earlier today. 31-year-old Kevin Ross Watt is charged with kidnapping with a firearm and failing to comply with an undertaking condition. He is wanted after a 30-year-old woman was taken from a home near Magua Lake just before 1 o'clock this morning. She has since been found, but police are still looking for Kevin Watt, who may be driving a 2009 Chevy Impala that has a damaged windshield and front bumper. Anyone who knows where he is should contact RCMP. Prince Albert police are renewing calls for help in solving an historical homicide. On July 13th of 2018, officers found Jordan Ballantyne in a yard near 6th Avenue East and 20th Street. He was pronounced dead at the scene. His death has been determined a homicide. Anyone with information is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. Moose Jaw police have been cleared of any wrongdoing by the province's police watchdog following an investigation into an incident that ended with a fatal rollover. It happened in November of 2024 when police were called about a driver who said they were being chased by another vehicle in the city after a fight. Police spotted the vehicle traveling at high speeds. The officer turned on their lights and siren following at a distance. About a minute later, though, the vehicle had crashed. The driver and a passenger were taken to hospital, but a second passenger died. No one in the speeding vehicle was wearing a seatbelt. CERT found that police acted appropriately in trying to stop the vehicle and that the actions of police did not contribute to the crash. Regina's former police chief says he is looking forward to presenting his case during an appeal over his dismissal. A statement provided through Farouk Sheikh's lawyer said the former chief's firing from the police service was unjustified, disproportionate, and wrong. Sheikh was terminated with cause last year following an investigation into alleged misconduct. The appeal hearing is set for the fall. More than 1,000 people showed up in Melville to support 2 RCMP officers shot while on duty last month. The community held a fundraiser over the weekend to help the officers and their families. The 2 officers were seriously injured on June 21st when they were called to a dispute between neighbors. Visitors from as far away as Ontario showed up to this weekend's gathering.
They're coming from everywhere. We've had obviously fire departments from all over the place, different RCMP detachments, highway patrol, conservation, you name it, from everywhere.
All proceeds from the event will be split equally and given to the injured officers and their families. Saskatoon will have another chance to see the Snowbirds before they are grounded for what will likely be several years. They're doing a flyover tomorrow before the team pays a visit to the Aviation Museum for a public event. On Saturday, they held their last hometown show. Damien Smith was there.
So I'm looking forward to finally see the planes just take off.
It's a bittersweet day for 9-year-old Zachary Slater, whose love for aviation was inspired by his grandfather, who was a pilot.
They're just cool the way that they just invented in 1903 when someone decided that we needed a new way to travel.
He's among a massive crowd braving the heat at the Moose Jaw Municipal Airport for the last public performance by the Canadian Forces Snowbirds in front of their hometown crowd, at least for the foreseeable future.
It's important just to be out here and support the team. Just showing how much the team means to not only the people of Moose Jaw, but the people of Saskatchewan and Canada as a whole.
In May, the federal government announced that the Snowbirds will be temporarily grounded until at least the early 2030s after the 2026 season to allow the team's aging Tudor jets to be retired and replaced. The Moose Jaw show selling out in short time following the announcement.
I think there's some extra nostalgia here that this may be the last show for quite some time and potentially the last time to see the Snowbirds officially out of Moose Jaw.
The Snowbirds have been based out of 15-wing Moose Jaw for 55 years, forming in 1971.
Part of Moose Jaw's story being home of the Snowbirds, so it's a piece of our family that's going to be missing for quite some time.
As several local efforts play out to keep the team flying past the planned pause, whatever the future looks like for the Snowbirds, the Moose Jaw community will be keeping its eye on the sky, waiting for the next chance to see their hometown team. Damien Smith, CTV News, near Moose Jaw.
The province is being recognized for its work to improve accessibility at government buildings. The Sturdy Stone Centre in Saskatoon has recently received the Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification. It recognizes work done to identify barriers and help improve accessibility to buildings. The Sturdy Stone Centre saw several upgrades, including better emergency exit signage, new audio and visual fire alarms installed in several locations. New fire evacuation and muster point signage was also installed throughout the facility. The province says the certification underscores the government's commitment to making public buildings welcoming and accessible for all.
We are committed to continuously improving our buildings so that every Saskatchewan resident can access government services in a safe, welcoming, and barrier-free environment.
This is the 4th Government of Saskatchewan executive building to have achieved Rick Hansen Foundation Accessibility Certification. People in Saskatoon had the opportunity to participate in an inclusive challenge over the weekend. The adapted race is a competition for all ages and abilities. 9 pavilions were set up at Gather Local Market, designed to be inclusive for people living with physical disabilities. Participants competed in a time circuit of cerebral and physical tasks with prizes for the top 3 teams.
There's not always the most amount of things to do if you're disabled. Finding accessible recreational activities can be harder. So the more that we have, I think the more it'll grow, because if you create one event, then people might get an idea and something could spin off from that.
Organizers are hoping to make the adapted race an annual tradition in Saskatoon. A public safety notice has been issued over a poisonous plant found along Lake Diefenbaker. The RM of Victory says black henbane has been found in the area along the shores of the lake and extending into the grasslands around the lake. Black henbane can make people sick, as well as livestock, pets, and wildlife. So people are advised not to touch the plant with their bare hands. Burning or smoking the plant may also cause a hazard. Anyone who comes into contact with black henbane in the RM of Victory or near Lake Diefenbaker is asked to contact the RM. Pets in the Saskatoon area got a little TLC in Martensville this weekend. The Martensville Veterinary Hospital invited pet owners to bring their furry friends to get checked out as part of National Itch Check Day. Staff offered free information about topics like skin allergies and conditions which are more common in the warmer months.
Snow molds or grass pollens or tree pollens, and that causes that irritation or flare-up. They're also generally swimming in the lakes more often, which means that they're wet all the time, which can cause some issues. And so we just like to make sure that we're on top of it, because I know a lot of pets are out there struggling with their allergies through the summer.
National Itch Day was marked by a handful of veterinary clinics across Canada, which hosted similar events. The Sask Jazz Festival has ended on another high note, according to organizers. Despite the heat over the weekend, people made their way to Victoria Park to participate in the free yoga session offered in the afternoon. Organizers say the weather didn't have an impact on attendance, with an estimated 40,000 attendees over the week-long festival.
There was a lot of opportunity for problems along the way, but instead the community has really embraced the changes that the festival's implemented. They've made us feel like that we listened and got it right, and we promise to continue to listen and continue to tweak and always make sure that the festival is the best it can be. And
the festival wrapped up Saturday after a day of free programming. Still to come, a former MP faces a slew of charges following a firearms investigation. Also, how a Saskatchewan group wants to teach residents all about AI. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. A former Manitoba MP is facing a string of charges after Mounties allegedly found a trove of guns at his home. RCMP released these photos showing some of the 439 guns seized from a home in Dauphin, Manitoba last Tuesday. They also found an antique cannon, ammunition, and more than $300,000 in cash. Investigators say it will take several weeks to document all of the evidence, but so far they believe 3 of the guns had been illegally trafficked. One had its serial number tampered with, and most were improperly stored. 2 suspects have been arrested. One is 78-year-old Inky Mark, who was released with conditions. In addition to serving for 13 years as an MP, he was also the mayor of Dauphin. He is facing more than a dozen charges in connection to the case. A shooting at a Toronto street festival is raising new concerns about crowd control and has renewed the national debate over illegal firearms. As Judy Trin reports, Toronto's police chief is calling for federal reforms.
Gunfire at a Toronto salsa festival, sending crowds running for cover. 2 people shot dead, 5 others injured. The mayor of Canada's biggest city is vowing the summer tradition will continue.
We will not let reckless criminals stop Toronto's tradition of outdoor street festivals.
There were an estimated 13,000 people at the festival, including families with children. For people to continue attending these events, analysts say the public could demand a bigger police presence.
We can expect that there will be more tolerance for the police to use more of the techniques that private security uses in private venues, like things like using metal detectors or increased use of CCTV cameras and whatnot.
The Conservatives are blaming the brazen gun violence on the Liberal government and years of lax sentencing.
If you're a violent repeat offender, especially a gun offender, you should be removed from society for a very long time. And that will create the deterrence necessary to prevent gun violence.
An Under pressure, the Liberals have made more than 80 changes to the criminal code to tighten bail and sentencing for repeat offenders.
Gang violence, tougher sentencing in around that. We really have tightened up the criminal code. We just got that through Parliament and has been signed off.
Toronto's police chief wants a new law to protect from guns being fired in public spaces.
When someone is shot and killed in a congregate setting, whether it's a stray bullet or because someone started a fight and pulled a gun, such offenses should be classified as first-degree murder.
Toronto's mayor is also calling for more cooperation between Canadian and American law enforcement to ensure that guns are not being smuggled into Canada. Statistics show that nearly half of all guns seized by police in Canada are from the U.S. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
A man once considered a fashion mogul has been found guilty in Montreal of 1 count each of sexual assault and forcible confinement. 84-year-old Peter Nygard accepted a plea deal and did not present any evidence in his defense today. He appeared by video from an Ontario prison. Lawyers will be back in court on October 2nd to present a joint recommendation for sentencing. Nygard has denied allegations that he used his position to lure women and girls. In 2023, he was convicted of sexual assault and sentenced to 11 years in prison following a trial in Toronto. Donald Trump says the U.S. will strike Iran hard tonight and tomorrow. And earlier today, he announced that the U.S. blockade of Iranian shipping in the Gulf is being reinstated. The U.S. president also insists American forces will ensure the Strait of Hormuz remains open, and the U.S. will be reimbursed 20% on all cargo shipped. But Iran says the U.S. will not be allowed to intervene and has no role in determining the future of the waterway. The two sides exchanged more missile and drone attacks after Tehran announced on the weekend it was closing the strait. The resumption of the American blockade of all Iranian ports and coastal areas is set for 1 p.m. Saskatchewan time tomorrow. Ottawa's goal to boost the use of AI through a new national strategy has a Saskatchewan nonprofit doing its part to educate the public. AI Saskatchewan wants to improve AI literacy for 10,000 people. Alison Bamford on that goal.
Not too long ago, Alex Fallon didn't know much about artificial intelligence.
I've kind of been learning as I go.
Now he uses it every day.
I kept your last cigarette in the glove box like a relic.
Drawing inspiration for poetry in his spare time.
So I'll take what it provides and then I'll make it into my own.
And developing briefing notes and presentations at work. Fallon is the founder of Artificial Intelligence Saskatchewan, a nonprofit dedicated to growing the use of AI across the province.
Providing people with the opportunity to learn about AI gives them the chance to decide for themselves to what extent they want to use it in their home life and in their workplace.
The organization is developing a program to teach the basics of AI, what it is, what it can do, and the guardrails in place, intended as a stepping stone for beginners.
For AI to spread, more and more people need to start using it.
The program follows the release of Ottawa's national AI strategy last month that set goals of making Canadians more AI literate and boosting the number of businesses that use AI from the current 12% to 60% by 2034.
Canadians in general are quite literate compared to the global population, but also a little bit hesitant.
Western University's chief AI officer, Mark Daly, says hesitancy is a sign that Canadians are literate and understand AI enough to think critically of it.
I'm an educator, so of course I think the solution for hesitancy and fear is education. If you understand what it is you're dealing with, then it's easier to integrate that into your life.
AI literacy is a spectrum. Fallon says he isn't an expert, but experimenting with the tools has been one of the best ways to learn.
What could I ask it to do?
AI Sask has a goal of teaching 10,000 people, whether that's individuals, small businesses, or not-for-profits. They plan to launch their courses in the fall. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Some terrifying footage out of Yellowstone National Park. A man was chased and then tossed by a bison. He was close to the animal trying to take a photo. The giant animal was already sniffing around some other campsites in the area. The 65-year-old was sent to hospital with a broken femur, but is expected to make a full recovery after being treated in hospital. The man was with his grandson at the time, and he said the animal did not seem aggressive before it charged at him and then threw him.
This is Loretta. I'm with the Melfort Trade Alliance Chamber of Commerce, and we're in the back alley where the back alley tour is going to begin this Thursday. Sandra, give us the information.
Back alley tour, 10th annual, runs from 2 to 8 p.m. this year. Food trucks, live music, and a whole lot of artists with amazing work. So tell us what the weather is going to be like this Thursday, Jeff, and be nice about it.
All right, Sandra, I will be nice about it. First thing I'll tell you, this is a fall picture of Melfort. It's the only Melfort picture I have in my Rolodex. Rolodex, it's still a thing, isn't it? Anyhow, it looks like things are going to be okay. It won't be wicked hot. It's not going to be cold, but there won't be a lot of sunshine. It looks like we're going to have a cloudy day in Melfort on Thursday. And, of course, everything happens between 2 and 8, as Lorena and Sandra were saying. 22 degrees for a high, cloudy conditions. Not much in the way of a wind, so that's kind of good. So all in all, pretty nice day shaping up for the 10th anniversary edition of the Back Alley Tour coming up on Thursday in Melfort. Now, let's take a look at our current temperatures. It's 25 degrees in Saskatoon, 24 in Prince Albert, and 23 in the Battlefords. And winds are on the light side. Well, maybe a moderate wind in Prince Albert. Closer to home, let's take a look at the almanac for Saskatoon. Pretty much a seasonal day. 25 degrees today for a high. That's where we would typically be this time of July. 36, that was a record warm temperature in 1925. 5 degrees is the cold temperature record from 1993. The sun came up at 1 minute after 5 o'clock, and it's going to go down at 9:23.
Coming up, packing up and heading home. A look at the weekend that was at Country Thunder.
On Your Morning Saskatchewan, temperatures might have cooled off, but hot weather is continuing to impact much of Saskatchewan. Tune in for tips on beating the heat.
All right, let's take a look through the live lens of Skycam. Ooh, big blue sky. Well, tiniest amount of cloud cover out there, but it's just wispy clouds out there. Made for poetry. Without AI, by the way. we've had ourselves a pleasant day now. I just wanted to point this out. It's kind of interesting. You sort of see how these storms sort of inching along here. This is the edge of the heat dome that's anchored in the States. It's slowly moving its way eastward, and as it does, it's going to reduce its impact on Western Canada. But we do still have some, even as that heat dome moves out of the way, we still have some instability out there. So the possibility of showers and a potential thunderstorm is still there, but we'll talk about that in a second or two. Just to recap, 25 degrees in Saskatoon, 24 in Prince Albert, and 23 in the Battlefords right now. Our hot spot today, that was Val Marie at 31 big degrees, Meadow Lake, the cold spot at 9. Not so cold, really. Then we go around to our larger communities, 25 to 23 degrees rather in Lloydminster, 27 in Regina and Swift Current, 25 in Yorkton, 29 in Estevan. A closer look at central Saskatchewan. Temperatures ranging from 22 degrees, that's in Spiritwood, up to 26, and we have that going on in Watrous. A lot of places around that 23 or 24 degree mark. Up north, full 16 degrees in Stony Rapids, 21 in Collins Bay and Key Lake, 24 in Buffalo Narrows, and up to 26 in La Ronge. And down south, well, no one left breaking through the 30 degree mark on this part of our map, but a lot of places darn close. Look at that, 29 in Maple Creek, Weyburn, and Carlisle. And the coolest temperature on this part of our map, it's not that cool at all, 24 degrees in Elbow and Last Mountain Regional Park. Now on to our future cast. Well, the pressure lines are staying relatively far apart, so we don't anticipate a windy day tomorrow. But as you can see, there's some reflectivity in the computer modeling, and it is down in southeastern parts of the province and in the far north. So yes, some instability out there. The possibility of showers and thunderstorms is still with us. Still have heat warnings in effect for southeastern Saskatchewan. So Cardiff, Carlisle, Weyburn, Estevan, those locations, the possibility of a restless night if you don't have air conditioning is certainly there. And that heat, those heat warnings and more extends into Manitoba and Ontario and parts of Quebec. around the province for tomorrow. Temperatures hovering around 27 degrees for northern Saskatchewan, a bit more cloud in La Ronge than in other locations. A mix of sky conditions for west central Saskatchewan. Temperatures basically around 26 degrees. For the southwest, a similar pattern, mainly cloudy. Temperatures of 28 or 27 degrees, and that is true of southeastern Saskatchewan. And what about east central Saskatchewan? Yeah, basically around 27 degrees as we make our way into Tuesday. So consistently warm across the province. Partly cloudy skies overnight in the Battleford, so a slight chance of showers and a risk of a thunderstorm. 12 degrees, 26 degrees tomorrow. And then look at this 7-day outlook. Not bad at all. A chance of showers on Wednesday, but 27 on Thursday, 29 on Friday and Saturday, and still seasonal temperatures on Sunday and Monday. Prince Albert's overnight temperature, 10 degrees, 26 tomorrow under mainly sunny skies. And then 27, getting up to 28 by Friday and Saturday. Pretty nice Sunday in store, mainly sunny, and 26, a chance of showers on Monday. And Saskatoon, 12 degrees tonight, not bad, better than it has been. 27 degrees tomorrow, winds out of the east at 15. And then the 7-day outlook looking good as we head towards the weekend. Things really warm up. 30 expected on Friday, Saturday, 29, and 27 on Sunday.
We've made living biological attractions so astounding that they'll capture the imagination of the entire planet. The most phenomenal.
The entertainment world is mourning the death of actor Sam Neill. Neill, who was born in Northern Ireland but grew up in New Zealand, was best known for his role as Dr. Alan Grant in Jurassic Park. In 2023, Neill revealed he had been diagnosed with cancer, but his family stated he was cancer-free at the time of his death and did not specify a cause. Sam Neill was 78 years old, and if it's been a while or if you've never seen it, check out the series Riley, Ace of Spies from the early 1980s. He's terrific.
I need your help.
I'm not going on a mission with some mortal.
The live-action remake of Moana topped the box office over the weekend, but it didn't make as big a splash as has been expected. The movie, which has a reported budget of $250 million, you know, $250 million, took in $43 million in North America in its debut weekend. The 2016 animated original is the most watched movie on Disney Plus streaming. And let's just jump right to the other stuff. Minions was in second place, and Toy Story 5 rounded out the top 3. There you go.
Just have all these ideas in my head. Just gotta get them out.
And do it, Michael. Not a little boy.
You tell him, Captain EO. Meanwhile, at the global box office, the Michael Jackson biopic has crossed the $1 billion mark. It's the first biopic to reach that milestone. And according to Deadline, it's also the first film by Lionsgate, the studio that made it, to gross $1 billion.
All right, Jeff, time for Pick of the Day. What do you got?
Well, they're stormy, just like the song. There you go. We know that song, don't we all know? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Anyhow, these are all from Friday, July 10th. So this first one comes to us from Rob. Tornado-warned storm cells that passed north and south of us at Deep Woods RV campground near Waka. That is a classic Canadian shot there, a Saskatchewan shot. It's a canola field, a truck, and some stormy skies. Now the next one from Patty. Hey, Jeff, this was about 5:30 Friday afternoon, July 10th by Hepburn. So, yeah, that's a really interesting cloud formation there. And finally, from Beth, out in the Humboldt Lake region, an intense storm rolled through with a gorgeous, beautiful rainbow boasting over the water. Well, that is a nice shot there. Yeah, a real contrast in things there. You can certainly see how windy it was. Look at that flag just snapping out straight like that. So if you've got a picture of storms or sunny skies or something like that, you can send it our way. CFQC News at ctv.ca, and you can just please put Pick of the Day in the subject line. It helps us sort through the emails.
Still to come on CTV News Country Thunder, a wrap for another year. A look at the festival fun and the cleanup underway. Craven Country Thunder has wrapped for another year this weekend, drawing thousands of fans from across Saskatchewan and beyond. As campers left this morning, we sent Erica Matarash to see how they felt about their weekend.
With another year of Country Thunder Saskatchewan in the books, campers and staff packed up and left Craven Monday morning. For some campers we spoke with, it's the heat they'll remember most about this year's Jamboree.
It's very hot. Cooled off quite a bit today. Now we're ready to get out of here. Rehydrating. Had a good time.
Festival goers coming in from across the province and beyond, some already looking forward to next summer for more big-name country acts and long days in the sun.
I will be here next year. Again, Thursday to Monday, I would do the whole thing again, I feel like.
RCMPs say they responded to 177 calls during Country Thunder this year. Sergeant Evan Gordon with Saskatchewan RCMP saying in a news release that it was a successful weekend. Large-scale events like Country Thunder require a collective commitment to safety, and largely speaking, we saw that throughout the weekend. Organizers say the turnout is a sign the event continues to resonate with country music fans year after year.
We're so thrilled that, Saskatchewan and beyond came out to support us, and we hope that everyone had a great weekend. We love putting this event on, and we can't wait to be back next year.
From live music to late nights in the campground, many say it's the atmosphere that keeps them coming back.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart.
As for next year's lineup, organizers say to stay tuned for an announcement this fall about who will take the stage in 2027. Erica Madarash, CTV News, Craven.
When we come back, a Saskatchewan native takes a big swing for his future. And later, we check in with Brits by the Bez.
Here's what's happening in our community. Back to Batoche, a celebration of Métis identity, resilience, and community is set for July 16th through 19th at Batoche National Historic Site. July 17th, 18th, and 19th, Saskatoon will be hosting the 2026 Western Canadian Water Ski Championships. Over 50 athletes will be competing in 3 events: slalom, jump, and tricks. You can submit your community event by visiting our website and clicking on Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen. All right, time to take a look at the rural forecast for tomorrow. And right now, things are looking pretty nice. Pretty much seasonal temperatures. Doesn't look like there's a lot in the way of strong winds or inclement weather showing up. Mix of sky conditions, mainly sunny in Meadow Lake and Spiritwood. We have more clouds in Lloydminster and Kindersley and Outlook and a number of other locations. But the temperatures, for the most part, hanging around that 26-degree mark, getting a little warmer up around Hudson Bay. We're expecting a high of 28 degrees. Down south, decidedly warmer. Some places flirting with 30. That's certainly true of Rock Glen and Coronach, 27 in East End and Carlisle, as well as Broadview and Kenora, and it looks like Rosetown and Pilot Butte also topping out at 27 degrees. So what's it going to be like at Beachy? Well, it looks like Beachy's going to be in southern Saskatchewan. Partly cloudy skies or mainly cloudy conditions, 28 degrees, and winds out of the southeast at 20, so a bit of a warm wind on the moderate side. And Beachy is one of the places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders are heading into their bye on a high after convincing a 38-7 win over Hamilton last night.
Saskatchewan sends 4. Dolagala picked off just inside the 5 by Woods. And Woods is going to take it back to the 30. Look at him go.
The Riders' defense forced 4 turnovers last night, including Josh Woods and his 107-yard interception taken back for a touchdown. Hamilton was without Bo Levi Mitchell, so former Rider Jake Dolagala got the start. The Riders entered this week near the bottom of the league in turnovers, but they scored 27 points off turnovers last night. After the bye, the Riders will host Edmonton July 23rd at Mosaic Stadium. Saskatchewan baseball history was made on the weekend as a former Saskatoon Berry and Cardiff native heard his name called in the MLB draft.
With the 26th pick of the 2026 MLB draft, the Atlanta Braves select Carter Beck, an outfielder from Indiana State University.
Carter Beck going 26th overall to the Atlanta Braves. People in Cardiff celebrating with a watch party. He becomes the highest ever player from Saskatchewan selected in the Major League Amateur Draft. The Indiana State University product telling MLB.com, coming from small town Saskatchewan, didn't necessarily make the path easy, but it was worthwhile.
It's always been a grind for me coming from where I'm from, playing multiple sports in high schools, going to Division II out of college, then transferring up to the Division I. It's always kind of just been head down, play baseball. And when the people catch up and recognize you, they'll recognize you, and just trust in the process. And the big thing I've always said that keeps me going is trying to be a role model for the Saskatchewan kids and show them that you come from a town of 1,000 an hour away from a city, that you can go out and still do big things. You can still get to places. You don't need to come the same route that everybody else comes from. And I kind of take that as a big thing I play for, and kind of my big reason why I keep pushing so hard.
Beck played 2 seasons with the Saskatoon Berries in 2024 and 2025. He also becomes the first former Berry to be selected in the MLB draft. The 2026 Calgary Stampede Rangeland Derby concluded last night with a Saskatchewan competitor capturing his first championship.
I'm still taking it in. I kind of kept calm and composed till I crossed that finish line, and then it kind of hit me, and I'm just riding a high right now. Enjoy it while it lasts, because, you know, these times are fleeting.
Jamie Laboucaine defeated 2-time champion Jason Glass by 2.09 seconds and was one of the week's strongest drivers, posting the fastest time on 5 of the 10 nights of racing. It was just his second consecutive appearance in the championship final heat. Laboucaine is from St. Walburg. Coming up, the show classic car lovers really get revved for. Then we meet the newest resident at the Saskatoon Zoo.
Hey there, it's Derek Chesney here with the Saskatoon Crime Stoppers. This week on Crime Stoppers en masse, we're needing your assistance to identify a suspect in an armed robbery that took place in the 1500 block of Ottawa Drive North on October 25th, 2025, around supper time. Video surveillance shows the suspect enter the restaurant through the main doors. He was wearing a gray Puma bunny hug with dark lettering. His hood was up and his face was covered by a black face mask. Staff was thrown off as the suspect was posing as a delivery driver and was carrying a red Skip the Dishes bag. After the suspect pointed a gun at staff and demanded money, he jumped over the counter, ripped the cash drawer out of the register before fleeing the scene. Do you have information about this suspect or information about any other crime? If so, please give us a call at 1-800-222-8477, or you can leave a tip online at SaskatoonCrimeStoppers.com. You can also check out our Facebook, Instagram, and our homepage for photos of the suspect and other active crimes within the city. We pay cash rewards of up to $2,000 for information that leads to an arrest. We don't want your name, we just want your assistance. Saskatoon Crime Stoppers. Do your part to stop crime in our community.
Select Hair Service is brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you right here tonight on CTV. Well, vintage vehicle lovers rolled into Saskatoon over the weekend. Around 80 classic British cars were on display in front of the Besborough Hotel as part of the annual Brits by the Bez car show. This year featured the story of the historic Austin Morrison Austin Healy Marcus, a feature that attracted car lovers of all ages.
I really like it because my grandpa has a Mini and I helped him restore it. And it was super fun and I liked being able to show it off. I helped him put the engine back.
This year marked the 27th time the show has been hosted in Saskatoon. Well, Saskatoon Forestry Farm Park and Zoo is welcoming a new addition. This male caribou was born on June 25th, weighing 9.4 kilograms or about 20 pounds, has since grown to just over 13 kilograms or about 28 pounds. The calf has been named Lyle Petrie in honor of a man by that name who worked for several years at the Western College of Veterinary Medicine, who died earlier this year. Lyle, the caribou, and his mother are being cared for behind the scenes and are expected to explore their habitat this week. So visitors will probably see them in the coming days and weeks.
That's cool. That's great.
Cute little Lyle.
And a really nice tribute to a former worker there at the Western College of Veterinary Medicine. Very nice indeed.
Yeah.
We've got ourselves some very nice conditions. Well, I think they are. 21 degrees tomorrow with sunshine, a bit more cloud by noon, and middle afternoon, 27 or 28 degrees, so not bad.
Thanks for watching. Have a great night.